Hi, Air Blaster. Hey, it's been a couple days since I did my last one. Don't feel bad. Oh, wait. You wouldn't be able to see that part of the tail. For all my brush settings, the pencil, which I basically use as my like line art or fill-in color, it's literally just the basic. I have nothing like under this that's like fancy at all. I just use it mostly to blocking colors, but these three brushes are kind of my main like blending ones. And the marker, the only thing I'll change about it is probably the density. If I want to be like a little bit more washed out looking. But then I wanted to have two separate brushes, so I stopped changing the settings of one all the time. So I have this one that's a lot harder, which looks really nice for like line art. Like compared to, where's 100%? Okay. Compared to, oh, what size was that? 16. I don't know, something about it just feels a little bit more smooth. And when I like do line art next to each other, like bring another color into it, I feel like it blends it like just at that end very nicely. And if I were to like lower the density a little bit, even more so. But I don't know, I usually play with those two for my line art. I'm trying to use this one more, but I'm bad at it because I'm just so used to using the pencil. But then this this brush, which is like blush, is just my blending one for like a slightly firmer edge than the airbrush. So right now I'm just kind of eyeballing the colors off the reference and laying them in. This is Paint Tool Side 2, yeah, which is so much better than the first one. So if you haven't upgraded and you have the first one, it's free to upgrade it. And I absolutely suggest that because it has so many more things. Like, look how many more modes it has for the layers. So nice. And it has, where is it? It has some kind of a setting for, oh, here it is, perspective rulers. I have not used it yet because I'm really bad at understanding how to do perspective stuff. So that's there to use though, which is pretty cool. It looks like, let's do a 3-point like this. And I think you can move your points too for certain things. And I think, oh wait, I think the pencil actually just moves on the line that you want it to move on. Like that, see? So it's a straight line for it. And it's like, oh, I want the one that goes this way. Right? It's $50. I'll get you guys the link one second. I'm actually gonna try and like put together a video for why I use it. Because I don't use a whole lot of other art programs. Oh no, it's totally okay. I wanted to ask you guys questions anyway, so I'm glad you're being talkative. But hold on, I never use that, so I'm like, where are these lines at? Yeah, no, I really like Paint Tool Side, mostly for the way color blends. Like, you'll see me do that in a little bit when I start working on this. But it just feels so much more natural. And like, I understand it completely without having to think too hard. Whereas Photoshop, I feel like you're just kind of layering color on it, which looks cool for texture reasons. Like, that's the one thing Sai's kind of lacking in his texture. But I feel like for the most part, you're not actually mixing anything in Photoshop. It's just layering it till it looks mixed enough, which is fine. It's absolutely great, and it looks beautiful for texture, but I don't know. This has like this really cool, like actual mixing. Like, looks so pretty. Look at that. You just don't get that in Photoshop. And it's so easy. It just does it on its own. It's programmed so well. Yep, Sai is the best. And I feel bad for people who have that problem with like line art in Sai. Like, it gets all like jaggedy. And I had to have my stabilizer in this huge zone. Like, I have stabilizer 2 and it like S2, the strong one. And I have free hand control completely. So like the moment I'm up to 4 though, that's just the lag starts to kick in. But no, anything down here I don't even do anymore. I don't know. It just feels too loosey-goosey. Hi. Dragmar. You were here last time, I think, too? I don't remember. I have a terrible memory. I'm so sorry. And Badagast. Hi, too. I don't know what Krita is. I've never heard of that. I'm literally like a Sai loyalist at this point. Why mess up a good thing? I did take classes in a junior college. I took like figure drawing and stuff, but at that point I was sort of self-taught at that point, but not super well. It really like helped me focus on what I need to learn on, like to get better, but I think I got more out of like my color theory classes and I guess just a regimen of like forcing myself to do stuff in college. Where are her eye colors? Green. Actually, I think all my art teachers absolutely loved me. So I do not have a story like that. I had a story about a math teacher hating me in high school. He hated everyone though. He told us all at the beginning of the semester that he was going to fail all of us and he didn't care because he had tenure and he failed all of us. And that's why I didn't pass Algebra 2 earlier on in high school. That is my one sad story. Nightmare teacher. I mean, looking back now, it's hilarious. But at the time, I was in tears because I was like, I was supposed to be in calculus my senior year, and now, you know, I don't give a crap. So whatever. But oh, bless her. That makes me so happy. Do paint early stuff. Honestly, like, it just feels so nice to just smack down some colors and not worry about it. And please don't give me a hard time. I work on one layer most of the time. Just because I like not worrying about what layer I'm on. Hi, Nadem. Yeah, it's all about having confidence that you know what you're doing, and you're gonna be able to fix whatever mistake you make the entire time. I let fate take the wheel. If I'm doing like something that I want line art in, I will keep the line art and the colors separate for a while, but then I'll get to the part where I'm like, ah, screw it, and I'll just merge it all and fix it all up the way I want to anyway. Hi, Sizikex. Wow, I cannot read your name. I'm so sorry. We're just gonna call you Sizz. Is that does that work? See, for so long, having one layer has not gotten me in any trouble. And then I did this big picture that kind of like League of Legends splash art for my boyfriend, and he wanted to get it animated by someone on Fiverr, but they needed separate layers to do that. And I was like, oh crap. So I had to like fake layers by like cutting out the character, kind of blocking in somewhat of the background behind him where it was a hole now, and like, oh my gosh. So now I have to like be careful with that, and depending on what they want to do with them, I'm gonna ask people, do you want separate layers? I'll try. Hi, Edwin. This one's gonna be kind of tricky because there's so much going on her outfit on the front, and I want to kind of like make sure her body type is still obvious underneath it all. Hi, Official Opinion. Oh, it's awesome. Like, you found it through just YouTube's natural recommendation or through something else? Thank you. I honestly, like, just love doing Sea of Thieves pictures because for the most part, like, I've done so many Final Fantasy pictures, and I love doing Final Fantasy stuff because I feel like it's been a natural, like, I don't know, fit for my style. But being able to do, like, more unique facial features and body types is just like, oh my gosh, a breath of fresh air. Nah, I'm good. I also have pictures of them saved elsewhere if I need to go back and look at them, but she's already pretty rendered in the drawing, so I think I'm okay. Here, I'll work on her face because that's more exciting than the jacket. I've already kind of made this difficult for myself because she's got a lot of very neutral tones to her complexion. And because I did the the red line art, uh-oh. Very rosy now. So I have to like now get rid of half of that. I have only just messed around with it. I took an animation course in college. And so there's a couple of things I could show you that I did, but they're so like, I was just learning how to do stuff. So once in a while I'm super in the mood where I'm like, wow, like everything I remember from animation class is kicking in. I want to animate this little thing. Like I'll show you this one thing I made. How can I show this? I guess I can upload it to Imgur. But it's so choppy, like, does this link work? Hopefully. It's definitely missing like a frame or two, and there needs to be a little bit more movement to his head and stuff, but you know. Yeah, we did the walk cycle, the bouncing, everything. Yes, it was Esmeralda Dinan for the Star Wars picture. She was a commission I did, like, I think last month. And I finally got around to editing the video for the speed paint. So that's exciting. I'm glad you found me through that. Thank you. I feel like the leg move still needs a little bit of work though, but like I have a friend who animates, and she helped me out so much with like critiquing my picture, or I mean the GIF. So I'm gonna try and tackle it again when I'm in the mood. But man, I have to be in the mood to animate, and even then, I'll open it up and go, I don't remember where to start. Am I planning on doing commentary on my speed paints? I am. I actually want to do like specific drawings where I go over like certain things, like just little educational things. Like I wrote a list of all these things I want to do. I really want to do a video on why I use Psy to just get people to get it, because I don't think it's definitely my preferred one. So I feel like it's a lot easier for me to teach through that in all my videos. But just drawing in general, I have a bunch of ideas. What do I have so far? Like composition stuff, videos specific for painting or drawing. Like I have like what to think about when you're picking colors, atmosphere in drawings, posing, like how to make poses interesting for characters, stuff like that. Especially because I do a lot of commissions for people's characters. So I always have to consider like, oh, their personality and like getting that through in their pose and their facial expression and those like very subtle gestures, and doing a video on that seems a little challenging, but I really, really want to do it. It's all about, I guess, drawing a picture, talking about it while I'm doing it, then going back and listening to what I said and re-editing what I said, like, and redubbing it over what I did. So it's just a lot of work that I have not ever done before. So I want to, and I'm planning on it. On these, since they're just work, sometimes I'll, in hindsight, I'll go back and watch them and I'm like, man, I could have talked about this and this during it, but then it would have been like, you know, 2 things I'm talking about in like a 15-minute video. Her eyes are so cool, by the way. Like, oh. She has a really cool, like, heavy lash on top. Oh my gosh, that's me exactly. I feel like I have one video where I talk, and it's my Animal Crossing one. And I was like, see, I don't think I'm gonna talk about my art. I think I'll just talk about Animal Crossing, which is a lot easier to just go off on for a little bit without too much planning. But I'm absolutely down for like requests on things that you guys want to learn about, I guess, or me talk about. I had some people request incredibly specific things on Instagram when I made the post. And I was like, I guess I'm just going to do a video of like assorted, challenging perspectives or anatomy. See? You get it? It's like, well, let's just talk about Animal Crossing for 15 minutes. And I feel guilty because I haven't played the game in like 4 days. I've just been so busy. Which is terrible because, man, I could easily play that for like an hour each day, but I think I'm just waiting for the bigger updates to come out. Hi, Ro. How are you? I'm trying really hard to think if I had a bad art teacher, but I swear I think I'm just so lucky that I got only good ones. And I even had one that loved me and hated my best friend. Or didn't hate her, but was just like kind of uncaring towards her when she was struggling with stuff. So, I don't know. But I have a terrible story about her anyway. Like, oh my gosh, I accidentally took home one of the Prismacolor colored pencil packs from her classroom because I thought it was mine because I forgot mine that day. So I borrowed hers and I had to leave early, and so I put it in my bag without thinking about it. And the next day she's like, I have an important thing. Like, I don't care like if you took it or why you took it. I just need it back. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, wow, who would be so terrible to steal that? And then I realized like 2 days later, oh my god, I have it. And so I brought it back like, I'm so sorry, I genuinely did not know. But I literally was like, wow, what an ass. Who would steal, like, they're like $100 almost for those packs. I mean, like, granted, it was a very, very used one, so it was like half empty, but still. I felt terrible. This is possibly the most distracted I've been while drawing. This is so funny. I usually just listen to people talk while I draw, because I'm so bad at talking and drawing at the same time. But hey, it's going well so far. It was accidental, I swear. I had my own pack. I don't need to take that one. Except I think that one did have like some extra like multiple complexion tones that I did not have. Like it had just some extra pencils in there. I'm raising her eyes because the space between her eyes and nose is a little bit longer in her picture than I was making it. Much better. Man, my one problem with Final Fantasy is that like the lighting in the game is so weird. I don't really think there's ever like a real, like a true lighting for anyone's skin tone, because everyone just looks kind of gray to me. So I don't know if it was intentional or not. Yeah, 14. Yeah, I've definitely seen the post that goes around where they're like, this is what you need to do to like make it easier on artists to draw your characters. I mean, this person did a great job. These look like they're pictures from like maybe like a photo room or something. Like they look like the 3D model ripped out and put on a blank background. Like it's super clean and clear and like incredibly neutral in the lighting. But you know, doesn't make a difference to me. Everyone's skin tone has like this gray undertone to it. I think for this character, it's definitely intentional though, because it all looks really nice together. All right, time to get rid of some of this red. I do not play, so I do not know what class she is. I'm assuming some kind of a magic user. This outfit looks like that to me. Does it? Here, I'll zoom out again. Dead honest. Never played it in my life. Don't know anything. Uh-oh, we all think something different. There's like a million classes in this game though, right? Like a bunch of classes and subclasses. She also has this hat that looks like this. But I don't know if that's just an accessory or part of the look. Maybe we can figure it out from the items that she has. She's gonna have the hat, her pet Paisa, oranges, painting supplies, and fishing supplies. Does that help at all? Oh, gunslinger. Was it the oranges? Is that what made it obvious? Where are you getting Fisher? Is that a class? See, I think you guys are all just laughing at this, and I literally have no idea what's going on. It's legit! Dude, that's kind of cool. Okay, it's the hat. See, I thought the hat was just like a part of the look. Uh-oh, what does her hair look like? Okay, I was right. It's also a fishing hat? Are you kidding me? That's not a fishing hat. That's like someone who reads poetry kind of hat. So maybe a fishing hat. the gear set with the fishing stuff, fishing gear. Because if it's legit supposed to do the fishing stuff, I will put that hat on the fishing gear in her items. Then it'll look like I know what I'm talking about. Oh, her face is already so cute. She has such an intense Cupid's bow for having such little plump lips. See, story of my life. Didn't we talk about this last time? How, like, we're starting to feel like all of our lips start to look the same. We're like, oh crap, I only know how to draw one kind of lip. A Kardashian lip. Rarely will someone bring their OC to you and they have a thin lip. So, it's not our fault. I think I gave my, my Fallout character for Fallout 76 a thin lip, but she was an older lady, so, you know, it made sense with her. She could have had him plumper when she was younger, but who knows? I like to think they were always thinner. A little C for the mouth. You don't do the ooh-woo? Gotta graduate to the ooh-woo. Ooh-woo. It's true though. I never get characters that are like, I mean, except for Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves, that's why I love drawing those characters. It's the only platform that ever has had a bunch of like absolutely different body types in it. And that's what makes it so fun to draw those characters.
No, it must have been my imagination. It makes me realize how desperately alone it is.
Except I don't think I've drawn chubby girls in any of my Sea of Thieves drawings, now that I think about it. I've drawn a lot of like thicker dudes. My pirate's the only one I think I've drawn that's like a wider body type, but I've only drawn her a couple of times, and she's really muscular. Where are my thick ladies at? Bring me my thickums, pirates. Hey, I'm all about them abs. Especially now that I've been playing Destiny. So my pirate was already, I want her to be the strongest, swollest pirate on the seas. And now I play Destiny, I like playing Titan. It was absolutely meant for me to play. And yep, She's gonna be a strong, swole lady as well. I like thick eyebrows. I think she actually has really thin eyebrows in the character too. She does. Damn it. Why'd you have to point that out? I'll make them a little thinner. Just a little. I mean, to be fair, in Final Fantasy, you don't really get the choice of thick brows. So, maybe she's meant to, deep down. Wow. Oh, now they're classy. Oh, okay. Except that one needs to be tweezed a bit to match. I need to darken up her roots. Let's give her a wash. When I first started doing Final Fantasy commissions years ago, you know, you get a lot of miqote, and I used to draw them with regular cat ears because I didn't understand that their ears were not like that. That's interesting. Does that mean that you think that thicker eyebrows kind of have a rough and tumble vibe? That might be why I like them so much. I didn't even think about that. you've been persuaded by Buttercup from the Powerpuff Girls eyebrows. You're like, those are Buttercup eyebrows when you see thick ones. I need to give her entire head of hair a wash to make it all much closer to the same color, because right now it's looking a little odd. Actually, it's not that bad. Maybe just the bangs. But I do want to make it a little more yellow. Maybe? That looks better. Oh, that's so exciting! Congrats! I've picked up such good tips and tricks for Procreate when I was trying it out. I was watching other people do like step-by-step tutorials just to kind of see simple, like, this is where this thing is. And I didn't even know that there was a selection tool on it until I watched someone use it. Or how to fill color. I didn't think that was a thing either. Or color pick. Actually, I don't know if there is a color pick. I'll have to look again. But yeah, I absolutely recommend watching this kind of video so you kind of familiarize yourself with the layout, because it is very different from everything else you've used. so cute. I know that feeling so hard. Oh my gosh. You know what really helped me though? Because I've been trying to like, you know, be better about posting everywhere and taking advantage of social media where I can. When I found out that I could do 1-minute videos on Instagram or 2-minute videos on Twitter, I forced myself to just draw something for like 30 minutes because a 30-minute recording looks a lot better sped up to 1 minute than anything longer than that. And so I was like, you know, I'll just draw like things I want to doodle, like Animal Crossing characters or the Princess and the Goblin one, stuff like that. So just like doing quickie little things for myself like that was like, oh my gosh, really helped get that craving out. I'm using a Wacom Intuos Pro, but I am using the pen from my Intuos 4 because I absolutely hate what Wacom decided to do with their nibs on their pens. They are awful. They are so thin. They wear out really fast. I hate the way they feel. They just do not feel the same as the Intuos 4. So, you know, if you're in a route where you're like, something about this tablet feels a little weird, then, you know, as long as it's the same brand, you can use a pen from a different tablet. I was actually super disappointed when I got this one because my Intuos 4 I had since 2011 and it just finally died on me last year, and I was devastated because I love that tablet so much and they don't make it anymore. So I was like, you know what, I'll just upgrade to the Pro. It was on sale at the time and I was like, it should be no different from the 4. Everyone's saying it's the same, but don't listen to everyone. Everyone thinks about tablets differently from one another. It wasn't the same. So thankfully this pen was all I needed. The only thing that survived the death of my last tablet. I'm getting to the part where I gotta look at the bottom part of the outfit. Understand what's going on. So right now, I'm mostly just shaping everything out to look good. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be perfectly accurate to how it looks in game for the shape. It just has to look, like, composition-wise, really nice and balanced. Like, this part of her arm and sleeve is slightly different in the in-game thing. What was this part I'm missing too? This little cuff part. It's a lot more like form-fitted, and the sleeve is a little smaller. But I think it kind of adds to her, she's supposed to be petite look by having it a little bit bigger, and it kind of pulls a line down this way that looks good. some length to it. Right? Oh my god, it just felt so weird in my hand. I felt like my hand was getting hurt again. The 4 is way better. Or any of the older ones, really. And I even sent them a complaint on Facebook. And they just said the whole, like, try out our other supplies, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, you only make the new ones now. Send me free nibs for my 4. I bought a bunch, so I'm okay. But... You know, I haven't used it a lot. I've only used it for maybe a few hours because I just haven't found a reason to draw on there, mostly because I've been working so much. But it really wasn't too bad. It actually felt fine for the most part. Yeah, I think honestly getting a grip so it matches what you are used to might be better. But I'm just saying, like, it really didn't feel too bad. Like, I don't remember it hurting or being awkward in my hand at all. And I have really long fingers, so most things do feel awkward, but it was okay. My favorite thing about it is that I like drawing on something that almost feels like glass. Like, I prefer a texture sheet with absolutely no texture to it. So that's why I like drawing on the iPad too. The sound and the feel of the paper, just like, ugh, weird. I don't like it. It kind of reminds me of like when a pencil isn't really sharp. And it almost does that squeaky thing on paper. I don't know why. It just kind of gives that vibe to me when I'm working on a textured surface sheet. Oh my gosh, no, don't do that. It'll get all sticky. Grad school solutions. Hi, Anura. How are you? I'm so glad you could come by. Oh, well, don't make me stop you from streaming. Every time I play these lo-fi playlists, though, there's always like 1 or 2 songs in it that gets copyright struck on YouTube. But it's alright because I'm recording this too, so I can speed it up and make it impossible to watch later. Icky sticky. You know, the hardest thing to like figure out what to describe, how to describe things that just feel right, because I don't know if everyone like thinks the same way on that when they're doing composition. Like this line I just erased over here, the level that this point is at, I'm like trying to really hard to figure out what it is about like how high I made it that looks good, and maybe because it matches the other elbow well, but it's like, oh yeah, that looks good. Like I dragged the point up higher like that, and it just looks right. I don't know what it is. So when I make a video about it, it'll be like, yeah, just do what looks right, but that's so not helpful at all. Hell yeah. I love her color so much. I never work with greens, so it's lovely to do so. Especially this like almost army green. She has cottage core vibes, you know? What do her shoes look like? Ooh, I don't know if I got a picture of her shoes. Oh, I did. Oh, they are sexy. I guess so. That is what they look like. They're kind of dirty at the bottom. And they are thigh-high black boots. They're just super simple, very black leather-looking boots. And the heel looks like a dirty platinum or something. Oh my gosh, I have a pair of pants like that in Destiny for my Titan. They I'll draw what they look like. From the back, they're like so you wear a mark as a Titan, so you always usually have something covering your butt or your side. But they have these like lights like right under the butt cheeks. Like this. And then like the rest of the boots do this. And those little lights that are there just make your butt look so cute. I love them. We're open. That's terrible. Oh my gosh. You take care too. Have a nice stream. Oh, she's such a sweetie. Alright, so over here, this is not yellow. But behind it, this is actually the black. And then the yellow is on top of it. Like so. So, I really want to do the unspeakable. I really want to have a art stream that's like a request stream for sketches. You know, where we play like a little game or something and trivia or guessing a thing or drawing numbers, I don't know. And then winners throw me a character. Because I think I want to switch between fan art and original characters. So like I'll just go back and forth. But, you know, they do a sketch in like 15 minutes or something of the character. And that'll give me some either fan art characters like, you know, I like how this one turned out. Maybe I can finish it later. Or people that normally don't get commissions done just have a sketch of their character or something. But I feel like that's something I have to announce. Sorry. Like maybe a week in advance or something. Yeah, honestly, it just sounds like fun, like a kind of goofy day. But I can turn it into a another. People ask me, or I can explain what I'm doing, or people can ask me questions about how I'm doing something, and I can then incorporate those into something later. I'm sorry, I know it's contagious. The word yawn too makes me yawn, so you're like making it happen again. If I read it, it doesn't. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. I'm not drinking my smoothie. That's not good. We were all yawning across the world at the same time. I really liked her tail when she was naked, and then I put the outfit on her, and now I hate where her tail is. I think I'm gonna flip around how her tail is. Let's see how that looks. I'm so sorry. It's the word. It's hearing the word, reading the word, or hearing a yawn does it. Or even like seeing someone do it. You don't have to hear anything. It's a curse word. A cursed action. I think I like this more. This is gonna look better. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So much better. Mostly because I just can't bring out this skirt much more than this, so. Womp. She says it's supposed to be like a Norwegian forest cat. Oh, and yeah, the fur is the tail. Sorry, that said what fur is the tail? If she wanted a bigger, floofier tail. There's also fur on the bottom of the coat. What? I am blind. And I absolutely made this little front piece so long. Why? It literally just goes to her knees. I'm ridiculous. See, this is what I get for playing Titan so much. I'm so used to my mark being so long. It's really thin, the bottom too, but I think I'm gonna keep it wider. Not really thin, it's just thinner than how I have it, but you know, it looks good this way. There we go. That's looking good. Stop! I don't want to read that! Oh my god! I'm gonna ban the word! It can't be said in this chat. I just sucked down a smoothie to cure my yawns. Yeah, it'll literally work on me every time. It sounds just stupid. I hate that it's like that. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, it's awful. Please don't abuse that. I literally have a friend who does it all the time when he remembers, and he does the most obnoxious, loud one. Like, I don't know if it's fake or not. It makes me, like, painful. Like, you know when you can't quite yawn big enough? I get in that mode for, like, 10 minutes. I hate it so much. I can't stop now. See, you wanted a mean art teacher story, but you're learning worse things about me now. Oh no. Thank you. There's a clause to that says often. Will not abuse it often. I love painting hair. Alright, I'm gonna paint over her finger. I don't want to though, because I really like how it looks, so never mind, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna cut out her fingers. Yeah. Cut. Curly hair? Depends on how curly. There's a couple different ways you have to do it. there's that like that Sailor Moon style. The like the Shirley Temple curls, which are kind of like tubes that you then like hack away pieces of, like so, and then like draw on the piece behind it that's like, oh yeah, it curls up that way, and you just keep doing a bunch of those over and over again. Like banana curls, I think they're also called. Otherwise, for like, oh, short curly hair on a guy, okay, like fro curly, or I guess like Greek curly. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like another classic looking curl. I don't know. I think I would just for me, because I usually do painty stuff. I just keep the thickness where I need it at, and I just think about where it's growing from and try to keep it all, you know, mostly going the same way, but a couple of straight ones in there too. Overall, there has to be like the base line, you know, that's like kind of showing up of thickness to show that the hair is thick. Otherwise, you end up with like, you know, this sparse hair look on a head of hair versus that. So it has to be like a depth. And then afterwards I would go, you know, with a thinner brush or a thinner, a lighter touch, and add like the highlights. And then maybe some like darker spots underneath. Or vice versa. If I'm doing it for line art, I guess it depends on like how I want it to look, because sometimes I like that incredibly like detailed, like super lined soft hair where they do like the little lines coming out from the under parts. So if that was the case, I'd make sure my sketch layer underneath that was more like this. Here's actually a better example. So let's say my sketch looked like this. Not with all the highlights necessarily, but I kind of could visualize them. Then I would go on top and line out the hairs I wanted to line up. So that when I, you know, maybe added color behind it or just brightened up the one back there, you know, it starts to look cleaned up a little bit. Terrible example because I'm being very sloppy, but it's all about kind of making sure that that base look has that density to it. Because having little open gaps around the edge looks great. It looks like real hair. It's like with some bounce to it. If you want to go like fro curly short though, that's the same thing as the painting though, where it's like you're just kind of keeping it, that texture of like bumps that don't look even with a couple of hairs coming up like that. And then same thing for lining it. And with lining, I'd even probably do some like extra ones along the edge. But not necessarily have like lumps like this, like a cloud. I would try to make it have like hair strokes that create them. Like that. So that it kind of maintains that hair texture. Like that, which will look terrible at 100, or will it? Oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty good. Same color line as the color was behind it. In this instance, I was, because I didn't change it. But I would probably just make that layer a shade layer, like this. I love the shade mode That's why usually why I do like the red line art, because it, or like a reddish tone line art, because it kind of adds a saturation with the colors that I put behind it. So it mixes them already and it looks so nice and warm already. I prefer using warm tones overall. But if I want to cool it down, I just make it more brown. It's so good. I'm really sad that Photoshop doesn't have an equivalent. Oops. Yeah, color burn is actually incredibly similar. Yeah, you know, Photoshop, I don't know how people get line art in that. It just looks so pixely to me, like blurry, pixely, weird. Even if I have like a thicker pen, it doesn't matter. It just looks so bizarre. There's no like clean line in that for me. Where this is like clean. I can get this like almost vector clean. Obviously not that, but you know. If it's a large enough file, it can look it. Even if I have my DPI as high, if not higher than I do in Psy, which I already work pretty high in Psy, it doesn't seem to matter in Photoshop. Everything just looks off to me. And I just don't like that nothing actually blends. I have to like keep changing the way I do the brushes in that. The only thing I absolutely love about Photoshop, aside from the Liquify tool, the Liquify tool is amazing. And the color editing is also phenomenal, but that's what it was originally designed for. Is the texturing. Like, you just can't get those same textures programmed into Psy because it doesn't mix. Like, I'll show you. This is my airbrush that I use for skin texture that I've been trying to use more frequently. But it looks like this. Like, it looks like something out of Doom, like the old Doom game, you know? Like, it just repeats it. But in Photoshop, it would be like... Let me get a new layer for that. The brush auto sets to like do it in different twists and turns throughout and different like sizes, different opacity. So it has like this very natural looking texture. But Psy does not do that. Yet. Who knows? Psy 3 might do that. If they ever make a Psy 3. You can do it in Psy, you can do it in Photoshop, but like I said, it's one of those things where like the layering of textures looks very N64 game graphics, you know, it just has that repeating texture look. So the way I do it for like skin tone, like her face is kind of small for this, I think. But we'll try it out. Ah, it is small. Hold on, let me make a bigger face. So let's say this is some skin and a giant ass portrait. So this is my, oh, too small. See, like it adds like this stippling effect to it. But I would go back and like softly erase so it's not too obvious. And normally I'd be working probably with a smaller surface like her face down there. I'm all over the place. Let's try that again. We'll keep it smaller. Let's lighten it up. And make it super light. And that's when I would go in and like erase it, soft along the edges, and just kind of make sure it's picking up in the places I would want more texture, like on that front part of the cheeks, you know, where you're always like, oh my god, why are my pores so big on that part of my face? Well, like, it's like that for everyone, so that's where you'd have like a little bit of extra texture. Or on the nose. See, it just adds like a little bit of something. It just makes it feel like I did use a texture brush, but I mean, I did, not a fancy one. Otherwise, the other thing you can do is just Google up some noise texture. The problem is they're all so small. How big is this one? Oh, this is a big one. Oh my goodness. View image. Oh my god, no, it's not. It lied to me. It said it was big. We'll go with this one. And what did I use for this? Multiply? No. I probably used, yeah, overlay. Or one of these down here, maybe. Soft light's good too. No. Probably overlay. And just make it super, super light. This is at 12%, and you can see it there a little bit. I don't know how, like, clear the stream is for you guys, so hopefully you can see it. I'll put it to 15 so it's a little bit more clear. And then, I don't know, just erase, like, here and there. Just so it kind of gives you that extra texture to everything. It just kind of unifies it all. It makes it look less like this smooth, buttery baby girl. And it adds a little bit of depth to her. Yeah, right? It doesn't look too bad. It was definitely a terrible noise texture. But, you know, it does what it needs to do. Yeah, it adds a bit of something. It does look like the, it actually looks a little like a texture finish you can do on Photoshop, but way more cleaned up. Is that what they're talking about? Paper lineless? See, I never save these. I should make a point of finding a really good noise one and saving it. Oh, another thing you could do, if it's too much, like, I feel like this one was a little off, is blur it too. Not that much, just a little bit. Just to get rid of some of the graininess. See, I think it just makes the hair look a little better, mostly because you can't see too much in the skin. But yeah, you get the idea. Yes, like construction paper, which looks, it honestly looks good. Like it, not that I hate anything about the smoothness of Psy, I love it, but things feel a little bit more like approachable when they have a bit of texture to them. There's a couple of artists that they implement like a texture, I think, over all their stuff at the end. It just looks so soft. I think it almost gives it that traditional element, like it's like construction paper. All right, even though I have been following the colors pretty closely. I see where I can like rosy up her jowls, her... Where is it? Oops. It makes a huge difference. I think a lot of it has to do with that it has like a similar effect as to color editing to kind of make sure everything has an overall like similar color family. It just kind of unifies everything. Her thighs are so white. My goodness. Like in a little bit here, I'm going to add a multiplier layer to drop the shadow like under her neck, under where the skirt is putting shadow on her legs. And because that multiplier layer will be one or two of all the same colors, it'll help also like make it all feel like it's in the same atmosphere, the same lighting. And I say one or two colors because I tend to do like cooler tones on the lower half with my multiplier layer, and then like oranges up under a face to brighten it up more. But sometimes I mix it up. That's productive, don't worry. That's honestly like what I would be doing right now too. Ooh, clothes, really? Clothes for me is in that zone of like, I'm always worrying if I'm doing it wrong. Hair for me is a satisfying one. I could like zone out. Also productive, also good. That would be really hard to watch while drawing at the same time, too. It's definitely an attention consumer. I usually just watch like documentaries. That's easy to listen to. I love the Defunctland ones on YouTube. They're so good. Or I'll watch really dumb YouTube drama videos. Like, oh, what? They did what now? I don't even know who the people are. They're just fun to listen to. Or I love Kip Boga and scam baiting. It's so good to watch. Not much visually to see, so it's easy to draw while listening to it. Hey, finals were pushed. It's not your fault. And it ain't going nowhere. It'll be there for a couple months at least. Oh my gosh, Ro, if you like that, you might like, what's his name? He does a series called Another Dirty Room, like another dirty motel or hotel room. He also urban explores like abandoned places and malls. Oh, it's so cool. There's a lot of videos on that series. Oh, if they weren't pushed, this is just normal time. I'm sorry. Defunctland is just so good. Not even just for the creepy theme park stuff, because like that's fun, but like I learned so much about Jim Henson and have such a huge respect for him. Literally, like, even though I grew up with Sesame Street, you know, and I'm sure it impacted me as a child, but I don't really remember it like too much. And same for the Muppets. But it's like, he's an amazing dude, like just an incredible human. Aw, focus! It better be an easy one then, if you're in here. I know, it was supposed to be for adults and he was so frustrated about it, like being targeted towards kids. But hey, look, they made a huge series over in England and, or I forgot, maybe it was in some other part of Europe. No, like the US was like, oops, we screwed up. And like, it really irritates me because, like, comparatively speaking, even if Jim Henson originally didn't want a show to be for kids, the cast and crew and everyone who did Sesame Street with him, like, he really put a lot of work into Sesame Street. But like, they were so passionate about designing the whole like series to be incredibly helpful for kids of like every walk of life, and it's just so awesome. And lo and behold, like freaking Dr. Seuss is the one that's always like shoved down our throats growing up, and like, man, he was a crappy person. His family after him, bunch of crappy people. Like, or at least his ex-wife or wife that is still in charge of the whole foundation. Like, that's why they're in all the schools, because they keep forcing themselves in it. It should have been the Muppets, damn it. It's so cool. I love that. It was just such a a super interesting documentary. And after so many like hard times or like struggling with like getting what he wanted out there, like he persevered so hard. Like he just never gave up on it, and he ended up getting the biggest show on television, like what was it, the 80s or something, or late 70s, early 80s, for the Muppet Show in Europe. And he tried hard here, we didn't let him do it, and it ended up becoming a huge show here as well. Yeah, I think a lot of things are like that though, where they were tailored for like adults or everyone. But it's like once they start realizing, oh, well, it's the kids that are watching the TVs nowadays, it's like they start trying to make things targeted towards them. It's the same thing nowadays too. I feel like YouTube permitting things that are tailored towards kids is so bizarre though. I feel like you should have a license to make things for kids. I just feel like anyone being able to do it, that's just so creepy to me. Because you don't know if they're actually like creating suitable content. Ah, it's a world of different, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we won't go down that path right now. I was like, maybe I should talk about this. Yeah, the Elsa Gate stuff. Oh my gosh, still going on today. It just honestly feels like it should be a law. I just don't understand how you can like supposedly create content suitable for children, not have it, and like that's just so messed up. Like that kind of stuff can like psychologically screw a kid like for a really long time, and it's like I don't know. That just seems criminal to me. I got rid of that point I liked. How did I do that? Let's bring it back. I am right-handed. I guess I could, but I think I'm just so used to having them on the left from like, you know, MS Paint and Photoshop. You know, you can move them. Yeah, I have a medium-sized one, which is like maybe just over a foot long and like maybe a foot wide or a little bit less than that. It's a nice size. I like it. When I was younger, I used to think, yeah, you want the big drawing tablet, but I don't know. After having a really big one, it just being like really difficult to work with on a desk, I was like, no, smaller ones are fine. But I think everyone's just different when it comes to like how you work, like what kind of sweeping movements you make with your hand and arm. I'm definitely a finger and wrist mover the most. Oh, you could totally ask. I do not know an exact date. I have, I think, maybe 3 more left on my current list. I have to double check though. And then I will reopen probably, let's see what's today. I'll probably open at the beginning of June. So let's say safely 2 weeks. I think I get everything done in 2 weeks. I wanted to open earlier, but I was doing so much work for my Sea of Thieves fleets stream that I was not expecting, and it came upon very last second that they desperately needed for our big stream. So that got in the way, but it's okay. It turned out so pretty. Yeah, I feel bad because I get so many messages asking me, and like I always intend to just make a master post for it, but I'm lazy about that. Tonight I will organize where I am to figure out how many I have left. Because I also have some from people that are like friends of mine in real life on Facebook. And they operate unlike the normal customers I get who are all very used to commissions and are like, they follow the procedure that I'm so used to. Then there's people on Facebook who don't normally, and it's like, this is fine, that's okay. Like, I'm just now off of my typical like thinking schedule for how I get things done this week. Oh my gosh, no. The Sea of Thieves characters, a lot of them are from my fleet, but the project I did, I can actually show you. I can flex our cool stuff. My fleet hosts a big league, and oh, where is a video? Goodness. Here it is. Oh, that's Twitter. What the heck? And like for competitive Sea of Thieves. And oh my gosh. Why can't I not find this? Notorious. Oh, there it is. So I made like the overlay. So if you go to the videos here, you can see the most recent video, and you can see like all the overlays and stuff we made, or I made for it. But the background, the cup, the big font, all the panels below, I made all of that. The coin, the website's assets, the cutthroats. That's the fleet. Oh, I'm so sorry, Audrey. I know, like, oh my god, Norm is, I know, I almost said the word, but I wasn't going to, so you said it for me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know, this last time especially, I literally was like, I'm open. And then I filled up. I'm like, okay, bye guys, I'm closed now. It was the most, like, the least kind I've ever been when it comes to opening for commissions. I just opened up randomly one day, like, I think I'm good. I'm just gonna take some. I think I said the day, and the time roughly, but it wasn't anywhere near what it was before. Right now, I'm setting up a thing through Google Docs where you just send your email to me and that just gets you in. And once it's filled up to the number I want, it'll close automatically. So it's less of me like apologizing and messages are just not responding because I have so many, but it's more going to be like a oopsie, sorry. Like there's the closed door, but with just an email, I can respond to people that way and get the information in emails. No, don't. Trust me. I'm trying to find the easiest way for everyone to feel like, you know, the best about it too. It's been years of trying to find out good ways. But with the Google Doc system, I think I'm got it. And originally, like instead of having it be like, oh, fill out everything you want, which, you know, would be awful and people would definitely not get in fast enough. I think emails are generally like a not too long, not too short. You know, everyone's got a pretty even playing field of entering. Especially if they have a copy, just paste it and enter. Yeah, honestly, if you want to, like, if you don't have it planned quite yet, like, don't worry about it. Like, when you're in, I'm gonna be super nice about it. I'll be like, yeah, take your time. That'll just move you down the line a bit if you need some time to think about what you want. Yeah, whatever level of preparation you want, it's all up to you. I have definitely done commissions with, like, little, very, very bare minimum reference sheets, too. All right, her tail absolutely has nothing on it now. It is cleaned up. That's awesome, Ro. That's so cool. It is incredibly overwhelming, isn't it? I remember, like, when I used to do through emails, and, like, I would take on, man, like, maybe 50 because I was doing a sale. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll just do 50. Like, huge mistake. I should never have done that. It was just so overwhelming. I would get them all done eventually, but, man, you just get burned out. Like, even if I could do them all relatively fast, it just got so draining. So, won't be doing that for a while, but I'm trying really hard to keep them in groups of 5. Because I feel like if something comes up and I have like a friend or someone else who's like, hey, I really need this done like quickly, can you do it for me? I'd be like, you know, sure, I'll squeeze you in. So, and with 5 people, that's like a lot easier for me to manage. I know, right? Literally the rest. And yes, 50. And it ended up becoming 100 by the end of it all. I think I did 2 groups of 50. Yeah, miserable is absolutely the word for it. It's terrible. Because the people at the end of the line get so antsy and I feel so bad because it's like, I want every single one I do to look good. But when it gets to that point where I'm just so sick and tired of doing them, like I get exhausted. And so I have to be like, hey, look, like I gotta do other commissions first to like give my brain a break and then I'll come back and do them. Like, please. Huge mistake. Do not take on that many ever. Let's make it a little more gray. Hey, it was a sale, so it wasn't necessarily a big bucks thing. But it was also a your character here one, so it was like I had, I think 6 poses, maybe 5, for people to pick between. And they were all like really good poses. Like they all got picked at least once, but there were definitely some that were like way more popular than other ones. And I just got so tired of drawing them. Oh, see? You have a normie commission now. It's weird, right? It is, and it'll totally throw you off. The questions they ask, the way they do everything, it just so like, you've never done this before, have you? I do not know who that is. I'm gonna look at, oh, like you're drawing a real person. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I've only had a couple of those. Or, maybe I've only ever had one. But they were like the characters from a show, but it was Big Bang Theory. So like, otherwise you usually get characters that are face claims. So it's like, oh, he looks kind of like Thor, you know? Like, whatever, I can get some of those. I can make him look kind of like Thor and not make it too weird. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think of some like dull ones. I don't think I've really had any that I've like thought were like that boring. Usually when they pick the pose, that always frustrates me. Like sometimes people pick really good poses. Like I'm more than happy to draw them, or they're like open to like modifications to it. But any of the ones where they just want the character like basically T-posing, I hate those. Or they want the character doing multiple things at one time. I don't like those either. Take notes if you're thinking about doing that for a commission. Do not do that. Your hand, it does not look good if both of your hands are doing something. That looks so bizarre. It's oh my god, especially not safe for work commissions. That is the worst. You should not be, I don't even want to describe what they're doing, but like multiple things, your brain doesn't work like that. Especially if like then your mouth is also doing something. It just it looks bizarre. T-bowing it up. Oh my gosh. See, okay, so broken ones, like incorrect anatomy, I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind, like, super arched back, twisted. Like, that can be fun. Like, I can have fun with it and I can make it look decent. But, man, it's the boring ones, though. The just standing there. I'm like, no, I want to, like, get your character's personality across in the pose. And, like, I can't now. I get it, because, like, a lot of times they just think, what's the best pose I can get? Like, the best angle that shows off everything. Like, their sword, their whole outfit, like, their face. Like, everything I want to show off for them. So everyone who knows what my character looks like knows exactly what it looks like from this one picture. So I totally get it in that aspect. But, like the one I'm working on right now, I gave her this pose. And it's a very simple pose, you know? Like, it's a forward-facing. You see the full outfit. You see how it hangs on her and everything. You see her full face, but like it has just enough of like subtle little things, like the way the hands are held, the way she holds her arms up, that give her like that subtle, like, oh, she looks a little gracious or like sweet or modest or something, you know? There's just a little bit of extra to it. Or even the facial expression. Sometimes they don't want a facial expression at all. They just want them like looking stoic or grumpy, and it's like, ugh, like no. Yeah, this is commission vent hour. Only mild guilt feeling, but it's okay. I think honestly people would appreciate to hear, because like sometimes people just don't know. You know, they don't know like what would work best for their character. But I would be lying if I didn't say that, like, I would totally try and influence it. Like, I'd give them an option of, like, hey, like, this is a pose I thought, you know, would look good for this character. And then here's, like, also what you asked for. Like, if you want to, like, have some choices. And I'm always like, haha, sucker, you're definitely going to pick the one I did. And then they don't, and I get super mad. I'm like, what the fuck? Pick the one I did. I should maybe do like a little write-up on my commission website, like an about me thing where it's like when you commission me, and it should say my favorite commissions are the ones where I got to pick everything. I swear, I will read about your character, I will look up all the things that are important, I will make sure that they look like them, but let me pick the composition and the pose and all that jazz, because I will have more fun with it. You're gonna be super happy with it, but not everyone works that way though. Definitely plenty of customers that like being more in control. See, thank you. A preferred customer. No, I'm just kidding. I try to find ways to like enjoy all of them for sure. Like it's honestly hard for me to think of one I don't like. I think I have like maybe one of the pyro ones. One or two of them that I'm like about. Like just the pose is just so dull to me. But shockingly, I think at least one of those ended up being like one of the favorite ones. Like people love that one. Like it gets a lot of likes and a lot of comments. And I'm like, what the fuck, guys? So my anger didn't show through. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's absolutely my favorite one. I love drawing that one. I draw them all the time. And the original one I did for him, I got to pick the pose for it. And I told him, I was like, I'm gonna do this one because your pyro is just such a good design that I must. You are not allowed to decide. Yeah, absolute favorite. That's the one I was talking about earlier, the big splash art one of him. Not the basic pyro drawing, but the splash art. That's the one he got animated by someone on Fiverr for a video that he made. And it looks so cool. Bye, Didem. Thanks for coming by. Oops. Wait, what? How is that? Oh. Man, it wasn't even that much of a color difference. Yeah, I did. I had to cut him out and then fill the layer behind him, which was the background, with like a convincing enough background kind of blotchiness. So like, you know, when it's animated, he's only slightly moving on the background. So it's like, what I did back there wasn't super important. It just had to be like good enough. Yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. Thankfully, the layers that were the lighting were all already separated. So that was easy to fix, but we realized later like aspects of it that I had to erase for the animation to work better. Like his eye patch has like a glowing ghost effect to it. And so I had to separate that from him also, and then paint in his hair and a little bit of his face there. Yeah, like kind of like the League of Legends like splash art that animates when they have a new one up on the loading screen. Like a very simple like breathing, maybe arm moving. In that one, he has like the sword out, so it's kind of like slowly moving up and down, and his hair is blowing, and he's like this like breathing to his chest, and then there's like some fire that's animated in the background and on the ship. I can actually get you the video. This is the video. And you'll see it like near the end of it. Oh. There's like part of the waistline showing here. Oh, good. I'm glad you're eating. I already had breakfast, but I'm like, oh, so good. I want more. So you saw the little animation at the end, right? It looked good. Yeah. I'm West Coast, but I do eat breakfast like maybe like at noon usually. Oh, her glove is literally only on her thumb on this hand? Oh. She has tons of jewelry on it though. It honestly is kind of like fasting. Like I'm so used to it now that it's not so bad. I'm just really not that hungry in the morning. I don't like eating unless I'm like at least a little bit hungry. Oh my gosh. I like my grilled cheese with salsa. So almost the same thing as tomato soup. Yeah, same. I got these scallion pancakes, kind of like the ones they make in like Japan and Korea. Like a vegetable pancake. And there's 4 of them in a pack from Trader Joe's. And they are so good. Like, it's almost like they get them at home. Like, they just did such a good job. And so I had one of those with some scrambled eggs on top. And I can totally have that again for dinner. That sounds amazing again. I'm also having a smoothie. Yeah, a girl I was friends with in like middle school liked it. And so I tried it way back then. And I can't stop. It's so good. Oh, okay. I'm gonna look and see if I can order sushi. Because now you made me want that. And if I order, it'll be here in time when I start getting really hungry. Let's see. I miss sushi so much. My like local grocery store makes it, and it's pretty good for like just simple, you know, basic grocery store sushi. But man, do I miss the good stuff. Don't scream. Order sushi. Unless you don't have DoorDash where you are. I'm so sorry. I'm really mad because the places I like to make pizzas at, like the little, you know, kind of like Chipotle style, you walk down the line and make pizza, they've been out of spinach and arugula forever, since the beginning of the quarantine. So no, I don't think so. I don't know. I know California definitely isn't opening like widely anytime soon. So for the most part, I don't know. But the restaurants are like open for like ordering food from. You just can't sit in them to eat. Ordering or picking up food. Oh, one of my favorite sushi places is open to order from. Group order. I am a group. I'm so sorry. Well, it's one of those things where as long as you're safe and wise about what you do, it should be okay. But I don't know. It's rough. Like my first world problem, I love getting my nails done. I do it once a month, maybe twice a month if I really need it for like an occasion, like a convention or something. But now it's been, you know, 3 months and I've let them just grow out. I've been filing them and they look great. Like they look super healthy, but man, I am the group. It's like, oh, and I had to get my hair done again soon. Like, hopefully, the hair salons around here might be like opening around the time I was supposed to get my hair done. But that's just me being, you know, whiny. I'm not. I would be more than happy to wait as long as it's a safety thing. Her other glove is like a full glove. Oh, she has like a thing. Oh, it's like on her hip. I don't know what I'm looking at. You know, I have some friends that live like, you know, backwoods South Dakota or something, and it's like for them only a few people in like maybe factories have gotten sick. So it's like, you know, it's okay for certain places to open up carefully, but I don't know. The large group stuff is just like bonkers. See though, I gotta do the fancy stuff because I do get them like with the under the light so that it stays really nice. But I do like doing the fun little, you know, sleepover nail polish routine. I usually get my nails like metallic, so they're all shiny and mermaidy. In California, it's definitely been a lot of people, but mostly in LA. So it's one of those things like depending on where you live, it's like not so bad. Like in my area, it's bad, but not like horrendous. It's just one of those things where if we were to open up, it would be bad, but opening up carefully might be okay. But I think we just had like our highest total of people passing like just the other day. and it was literally within the 2 weeks of the protests that were in some part of SoCal. And it's like, that's like the prime time, people that got sick then. So just sad and frustrating that people are just so stupid at not realizing how dangerous that is. Like, the numbers are there, folks. I think we even had a guy that drove up to the mountains, one of our cities up there, from the coast, and he infected like everyone up there. Like, they only had like 1 case or 2 cases originally, and it wasn't a big deal. They were quarantined, everything was fine, and then that one dude goes up there thinking, I'm just gonna escape to the mountains and out of all this like hellhole stuff, and he infects dozens of people. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? It really does. It sounds like a zombie movie plotline. Oop, the wind is picking up outside. I went swimming for the first time this year, like maybe a week ago, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, finally I miss swimming. And the day after it starts raining, and it's been like overcast and rainy since then, and I was so sad. want to tilt her back. We're gonna do it. Doing it live. There we go. Nice. Nice. What are these side panels looking like? Oh, okay. It's like this whole thing is actually yellow, and there is like a shield shape on it. And this actually comes back down back here. Oh, I'm pressing really hard. Stop that, Liz. Oh, thanks for coming by, Audrey. Have a nice day too. Ooh, my wrist is starting to hurt. See? I'm drawing too hard. Stop that. Oh man, the back of this outfit is so detailed. I really like it. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna get to the point on this where it's just the detailing, and then I'm gonna take a little break, like watch some stuff and then come back and finish it. So I might stream for like maybe another half hour to an hour, and then do the detailing on my own time afterwards. We'll see. Maybe I'll just do the whole thing. Yes, 100% true. Especially when you're like in the zone. You're like, I can't stop because I'm focused on this too hard. I kind of want to start detailing. Let's see. There's so much going on. There's like, I wonder if she wants this thing here, like this thing on her hip on this side. I'll make it like on a different layer, just in case. Yeah, forgetting to eat things a big one. I certainly have my days like that. This like front panel I do want to make smaller. It's supposed to be. Maybe the glove's the exact same glove on both hands. Like it has this like black fabric that only goes across the one side. And then the thumb. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of little lighting to it too. But I kind of like that it's like a brassy gold. She has this feather here too. I'm not a big fan of the color of it though, so I might make it a little more aged looking. Oh yeah, I pretty much just play Sea of Thieves and Destiny right now. And Animal Crossing. I got Pirate Legend about a year ago, almost today, like definitely like about a year ago exactly. I started playing last year in like February. And I got Pirate Legend a little after the anniversary update. And in that time I joined a fleet that they looked cool because they did like a Beach Boys music video like of them all just having fun on the beach. I was like, these people look like fun to play with. So I joined them and became friends with a lot of people there super quickly. I just been doing like little work for them every now and then. But they're like insanely good at the game. Like they just know how to like abuse the parts of the game that weren't programmed really well to like perform incredible in the game. Like back when the sword used to be easy to not easy to abuse, but you could learn how to like use it in a way that was really fun. They were so good at it. Oh yeah. I was just not gonna do that. It was just taking me too long at that point. I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll get it eventually. Now they're like giving out all the old special awards, so like the Hungering Deep Drum. I wasn't around when they introduced that to the game, but now I could go get it if I wanted to. Yeah, it's now something you can obtain through some kind of a quest line with the Hunter's Calling. I forgot what it is. I don't know. Honestly, like I don't know what is in air quotes exclusive anymore. I'm thinking some of the like cosmetics that were like the limited time ones for like Halo or Conquer, you know, like those little ones. I think that might be the only thing left that's considered exclusive. I really hate when games do that though. I was super mad when they did it in League of Legends because I had the original Panda Teemo skin. It was the Badger Teemo skin, and no one had that. And then they brought it back out of the vault like a year later, half a year later, and everyone bought it, and I was so mad. I was like, I looked so cool. Everyone was wondering where I got that skin. Yeah, people are pretty grumpy about it, especially when they said that they were only going to re-release old things but with different colors, so that you could get it, but it would be a different color than the original one. And everyone was, you know, they were fine with that. And then they go and release the Hungering Deep drum. I think it's the exact same drum. Like the insider stuff, so where you play insiders an hour a week to test the, you know, this new stuff that's coming out. You're rewarded with like cosmetic items for your ship in time, and they're really cool looking. So you know, it took hours, like months to like get the entire set, and some people were just about finishing up their full set, and they go and release the exact same set in game that you can buy from Duke, but it's kind of like a pinky tone instead, like a rosy color. And I'm like, I know that's at least it's a recolor, but come on, like people literally grinded for that cosmetic set for a year, if not more, and you just gave them the exact same set, just a slightly different color in game for to just go buy. So maddening. It's honestly like the only gripe I have left about adventure mode, at least, because they just updated adventure mode to be like really, really good. Like it's super, super like what I always wanted it to be, with factions and like more PvP oriented stuff. But like I wish that there were unlockable cosmetics that like instead of the accommodations for the titles, I wish there were really, really challenging accommodations that you had to grind out for a long time that gave you really cool cosmetics. So you knew someone was like a freaking baller when they had something. You're like, wow, you have no life, dude. You unlock that thing? Holy shit. Yeah, the emissary stuff is so good. Like in Destiny has the titles that you can unlock from doing like incredibly difficult accommodations. And it's like barely anyone would do them or even like be able to do them because they're just so challenging. And it's like when you see someone walk around with that title, you're like, oh wow, like watch out for this guy, he's crazy. He grinded out like, I don't know, something really challenging by himself. But they don't have those anymore though, I think. Yeah. But still, like, that's like, you know, like everyone's done that now. I'm talking about stuff that takes you a long time to do, and that's like actually challenging. Maybe like completing like 100 forts solo kind of a thing would be something. Or Fort of the Damned solo 100 times or 50 times. Like I really, really loved that figurehead that was only limited time for like maybe 2 weeks, where you had to fish like a whole bunch of fish, and you got a really, really cool figurehead that was like a skeleton holding a shovel. Oh no, it's just one of those things where like I know people that got all of their accommodations for the Fort of the Dams release like within the first week, just to get them all done. And it's like, geez Louise. Like the hard ones to get now are the skeleton ships, sinking them all with like, well, maybe in an alliance. That one's tough, especially now with the emissary stuff. Like when I started playing, it was hard to get the Thrones title without like cheaping it by going into a alliance server. And I literally just met a couple on there and played with them for like all night to unlock the Thrones one. And they were so cool. Like I did the legit way and it felt so dope. And I can't imagine how hard it would be now when everyone's trying to kill you for your flag. Yeah, I didn't get why it was that either, but I'm not gonna complain because it was amazing. Like one of those beautiful figureheads they've ever made. Ha! I didn't get it either. See, I'm not that much of a hardcore person for it. I knew like everyone I played with was gonna get it, so I was like, you guys just get it. I'll turn it on for the bow if I want to. Yep. I don't like the limited time stuff. Unless it's like maybe a month. And then it's like I can get this done within 3 days during that month. Sure. There's this thing that this panel does when it reaches this little point right here where it kind of like comes inward, like cinches in and then goes up. And I really want to make sure I get that in there because it's so cute looking. But I'm also reaching the point where I'm like slowly losing my mind because I'm starting to get a little hungry and exhausted from staring. So I might call it pretty soon and then eat and then finish this up. Yeah. Yeah, try talking on top of it all too. This is honestly like the best I've ever done when it comes to talking and drawing at the same time. I want to get better at it, but it's so hard. Half the time I feel like I'm just mumbling nonsense. But, I mean, this looks pretty good for trying out different stuff. But I do kind of want to look at her with fresh eyes in like maybe half an hour. And then detail her up. Oof. Oh my gosh. I don't know how. I swear it's a miracle today. It is 100% something. Something I can't describe. Thank you. I'm pretty happy with her. Alright. I think I'm at that point where it's like, I'm good with where she is now and I'll come back and finish her up in a little bit. So, I'm going to head off and order some sushi. And chill out for a bit. But I'll probably stream again tomorrow. Something new. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Thanks for coming by, guys. Thank you. Honestly, you guys are making it. It's a lot easier when it's like fun to chit chat with everyone typing in the chat. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm going to be dead silent. So thank you for making it a great stream. But I will definitely catch you guys next time you're in here. So please eat and don't work yourselves to craziness. All right, catch you guys later.